If you have this or this, you can travel to these places. This is the Opal Card, and this is your key to exploring the best of Sydney and New South Wales. All you have to do is... If you are an overseas tourist or newcomer like I am, or an Australian local from another state looking to visit or move to Sydney, this video is for you. In this video, I'm taking you through everything you need to know about the public transportation system in New South Wales. We'll focus on traveling options within the Greater Sydney area. And at the end, I'll share my favorite means of transport, so stay tuned. Alright, let's begin! In Sydney, you can see these 5 symbols, representing the different types of public transport. All of them are interconnected some way or another, which makes it simple to travel almost anywhere within the Greater Sydney area, and especially to Sydney City, even if you're more than 40 kilometers away, like where we reside currently. What better way to show this than by actually riding these public transports? Today, my family is commuting to the Sydney Fish Market. This is a good destination to show the different means of public transportation. Throughout our journey, I'll explain the differences between each public transport and provide some practical tips along the way. The Opal Card. Let's ready our Opal Card. This card is actually free. You just have to pay the top-up amount when you secure it. We got our card from Woolworths, and they say you can get it too from news agency outlets. You can also get a youth Opal Card. My daughter uses this card actually. The fare is cheaper, and the fare cap is smaller. Transport NSW sets daily and weekly fare caps that help regular commuters with their spending. For weekends, this fare is even smaller, encouraging tourism. As an alternative to an Opal Card, you can use your debit card and credit card to ride a public transport. For me and my wife, we link our debit card to Apple Pay and set it to Express Transit so we can just tap our phone like an Opal Card. You can easily manage all your Opal Cards through the Opal Travel app. Our Opal Cards are topped up. Let's begin our journey with the Metro. The Metro. Metro is the new, fast, driverless train system that connects the northwestern Sydney to the central Sydney city, currently stopping from Tallawong to Sydenham. Metro trains arrive as short as every 4 minutes during peak hours, making Metro a reliable and faster way to commute. For our family, having access to the Metro is a big deal as it saves a lot of time, especially for my wife, who uses it regularly to go to work. We are riding from Tallawong Station. We got here by car from our house. The bus. Other times, we use the bus to connect us to the train station. Buses go everywhere trains don't, including beaches, suburban areas, and late-night services when trains stop. In some parts of Sydney, buses run on a dedicated bus-only lanes for faster travel during busy times. They connect the suburbs, train stations, and provide an express commute to the city. As an example, Bus 752 connects to the train's Blacktown Station to Metro's Rouse Hill Station, and it passes through the following suburbs: Marayong, Quakers Hill, The Ponds, Schofields, and Kellyville Ridge. You can also use a bus to commute to the city. For example, Bus 607X takes you to Queen Victoria Building from Bella Vista Station, while Bus 610X takes you to QBB from Castle Hill. We have tried both of these buses before. The bus takes the M2 motorway, so this option can be faster than a metro since there are fewer stops and a shorter travel distance. Going back to our journey, we are alighting now at Central Station. The Central Station. We cannot talk about Sydney's public transport without mentioning the Central Station, which is the hub of Sydney's train network. Central Station is the largest and busiest railway station in New South Wales, and the main gateway for travelers exploring the Greater Sydney area and regional. At the Central Station, you can switch between trains, metro, buses, and light rail in one place.
Mother,
Hello,
where are we?
we are in Central Station.
Ganda ng station green, no?
We are walking to the light rail next, but first, let's talk about trains. Trains are the traditional rail network, great for broad travel across Sydney and beyond. There are 9 train lines where 7 pass through the central station. Train versus metro. Although they are technically both a train, in Sydney, they are different public transport, so make sure you associate the correct term. Trains are double-decker and manned with driver. They cover most of Sydney and the outer suburbs, while Metro covers the northwestern Sydney solely, at least for now. The Metro stops at all stations on the line. The train has more lines and may share a platform, so you have to refer to the screen at the platform to check where a train will be stopping. Finally, unlike the Metro, the train can take you to Circular Quay station, which is a very important hub as well for another form of transport. More on that later. Of all train lines, the T1 is what we use the most because it connects the northwest to the city. Through T1, you can get to Blacktown, Parramatta, Burwood, the Central Station, Town Hall, and other destinations. T8 is an important line as well as it connects the Sydney Airport to the city. We have not used this line before, but it's good to know that we have that option. Light rail. This is the light rail, Sydney's tram. Light rail lines 1 to 3 are all connected from the central station, and this transport can take you to many places within Sydney City, including QBB, Circular Quay, and the place that we are going now, Sydney Fish Market. There is also a 4th light rail line that can be found in Western Sydney in Parramatta. It recently opened and it connects from Westmead to Parramatta Square to Carlingford. It can get very crowded riding this transport due to the density of the people in the city. It's also bumpy and slow. Definitely not my favorite. Tip: when we go to the city, we also try to look for bus stops, as this is a great alternative to the light rail than just walking around. If light rail is my least favorite, my favorite one is coming up next. But first, let's enjoy lunch here in Sydney Fish Market.
It's another day to try to get by. And ooh, yeah, I'm feeling now every second, every hour of the day. Yeah. It's a new day for a high.
I've shown you all the public transport on land. Now let's talk about public transport on water. I'll need another day to show you this.
Mother, kamusta yung food?
Sarap, busog ako.
Sarap ba? Di ba
Pero,
mahal?
Mahal pero sulit naman.
Ano bang gusto mo doon sa mga kinain?
Lahat naman. Lahat-lahat.
Okay.
The Ferry. We are here in the famous Circular Quay. This is the hub for ferries. After several months in Sydney, this is actually our first time riding this mode of transportation. Sydney ferries are tourist attractions themselves, at least for us since we don't reside in eastern Sydney, where the ferries can take you. For those residents, they use ferries for their commute to work. How cool is that? For me, as a tourist and someone who lives far from the coast, the ferry is a means to go to Taronga Zoo and Manly Beach. The latter is where we are heading right now. By the way, Sydney Ferry can also take you to the west to Parramatta. There are 2 ferry types to get to Manly: the traditional Sydney Ferry and the Manly Fast Ferry. This is the experience of riding the MFF. other ferry types too. Be sure to check Google Maps to determine which wharf and which ferry to board. Google Maps is very handy when using the public transportation system in Sydney. It can make commuting the different public transports less intimidating as it can show you the bus number, list the train stops and the number of stops, and the walking path to get to the closest available public transport stop. I highly recommend use this app when commuting. Of all the public transports, my favorite is the ferry as it is the most unique and most uncommon to me. It is a tourist attraction by itself and you can view a different angle of Sydney's famous landmarks from the ferry. Overall, each type of public transport offers a certain convenience to different commuters, and I'm happy that we have all of them in Sydney. So, is this the best public transportation system in Australia? According to Google, it is. But let me know in the comments what you think. If you're a viewer from the other states, tell me about your public transportation system. Is it also good? I heard Melbourne's tram is free. That's cool. Until the next video, see you later.